Hello and welcome. I hope the first month of school has been full of new experiences, new friends, and new opportunities. As we reach the middle of the semester, I think it's a good time to reflect on all that you've learned and done so far, but also a time to take a breath and give your mind and body a chance to rest. By now, every student on campus has completed a month's worth of Canvas modules, homework assignments, quizzes, and if you're lucky, maybe you've had a couple of midterm exams, but in other classes, as we don't have exams in FSHN 120. Sports matches and games are in full swing, and if you're an athlete, I bet practices are getting pretty intense. Not only are classes becoming more intense, but your personal to-do list may also be starting to overflow. Making time for meals, practicing self-care, seeing friends, cleaning up your room, doing laundry, and exploring campus town. It can all feel like there's not enough time for everything. For some students as well, this may be the longest you've been away from home. If you find yourself missing family, friends from back home, siblings, or even pets, call them, text them, FaceTime them. I'm sure they're missing you just as much as you miss them. Honestly, one of my favorite times of the day is when I get to call my grandma or my mom during my walks to and from class. After the excitement of the first few weeks of school, you may also notice that people are becoming busy, and you're becoming busy, and everyone is becoming busy. It can become harder and harder to meet with friends or find time to join events on campus. All this workload, adjusting to campus, missing friends and family, can make connecting with other students and peers difficult. In this module, Pillar B, Building Wellness, I wanted to discuss the theme of connectedness and how as students, social connectedness helps us to feel a sense of belonging with our friends, academic peers, neighbors, and campus. The definition of connectedness is the feeling of belonging to, or having an affinity to a particular person or group, where it is about partnering, trust, and connectedness. This week's wellness module is designed to help students set aside time to build connections with fellow students and peers, as well as provide feedback to the teaching team on how we can better meet the needs of you and your peers. Earlier, we talked about the factors that can limit connectedness: increasing workload, acclimating to campus, and personal responsibilities. One new factor that is a result of an evolving school system is hybrid learning. According to the article linked in your textbook, a narrative literature review using placemaking theories to unravel students' social connectedness in hybrid learning environments, hybrid learning has many benefits, such as a less rigid teaching approach and increased flexibility. However, the study points out, hybrid learning can also have a negative impact on student social connectedness and the overall student experience. Learning is a social process and requires various forms of communication. However, in this modern age of instant connectivity through social media and technology, people may get the feeling that they are feeling alone together, or in school, learning alone together. I was a sophomore at the University of Illinois when the pandemic started. By junior year, I was back on campus but learning completely online, only leaving my apartment to get my weekly COVID test. Then senior year came around and hybrid classes began. And I cannot tell you how excited I was to just go to class, to dress up and walk around campus and see people and talk to them. Throughout the pandemic, you probably have had a similar experience and have come to your own conclusions on how connectedness and communication are key to academic performance, mental health, and overall well-being. Although quarantine is over, hybrid learning and Zoom calls are here to stay. So how can we stay connected with each other and feel a sense of belonging within the University of Illinois community? 4 key aspects of social connectedness are categorized in this article: socializing, social support, sense of belonging, and sense of place. Socializing is understood as the mixing socially with others. It is measured based on frequency and the mode of social interactions that are made. Social support focuses on emotional, informational, and instrumental support that people use to get by. Support can be in the form of empathy and compassion, academic assistance, or assistance to meet tangible needs like borrowing equipment or stopping by Professor Gist's office for a snack or food. Sense of belonging is a feeling that comes when you have access to networks that make you feel part of a community or society. A sense of place is a feeling that comes from the human and non-human qualities of a space around you, like campus. So how can you foster these aspects of social connectedness on campus? Let's brainstorm places on campus where you can socialize, study with others, attend events, and more. To fulfill a sense of belonging and place, find a cozy study spot on campus. Having a space to work, especially somewhere comfortable, is key to studying through midterms and working through projects. What kind of study spot best suits you? A coffee shop like Cafe Paradiso or Espresso Royale? How about somewhere quieter, like a Ray Cafe or the Caffeinator at the Ike? And don't be too shy to explore buildings on campus. Have you ever studied at the library in Alkeld Hall? Or the Chemenix Library? What about the Union? Another way to find a sense of belonging and place, but also socialize, is to attend campus events. Sports events happen the entire year, from football to basketball, and cross-country to track. The ARC and the Union also offer esports events. If you're interested in seeing or participating in a Super Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart tournament, check out the ARC website and find out which events are happening soon. Lastly, if you're looking for community and social support on campus, there are always cultural and organizational events happening. Cultural centers like La Casa Cultural Latina, the Native American House, the Asian American Cultural Center, and the Bruce D. Nesbitt African American Cultural Center host events during Cultural Heritage Months and holidays, and also feature academic seminars and symposiums. If you love art and music, the Krannert Center for the Arts hosts orchestras, concerts, ballets, symphonies, and music performances with bands and genres from around the world and more. Beyond music, both the Spurlock Museum and the Krannert Art Museum on campus are free. So I've shared some ideas of ways you can relax this wellness week and beyond. The goal of this wellness week is to give you time to foster your connections with this campus, your peers, and your friends. Making and growing connections is like building a web. Your roommates, neighbors, the people you sit next to in class, your professors, and the organizations on campus are all possible connections you can foster. So on days when all you've done is study, or you've been up since 6 a.m., or you have 2 exams in one day, remember you have a web to tug on. If you're feeling drained, lonely, or in need of support, reach out along those connections. Visit a familiar, cozy spot on campus. Eat dinner with friends and peers, or reach out to a TA like me, or a professor like Tony for support.